think you better watch your girl. You better watch your man. Cause girl, he's doing it like nobody else can. All the girls are watching him.
Oh, okay,
that's part of the lyrics, yeah. But yeah.
I had a sexy playlist. Oh, I don't.
As Bola searches for her sexy playlist.
Oh, there's only 8 tracks on there. Okay.
I'm going to greet you guys. We're on the sexy playlist. What's up, you guys? It's BlerdTalk.
Hey, my
Bola
bad.
and Whitney.
See, I told you to be telling me stuff. I'm over here trying to add stuff to my sexy time list. Oh, Lord. Now people are going to think something else. I just have a playlist called, there's some music that's just like, sexy. The song itself is just, So we were talking about
contagious.
We were talking about the recaps, guys. Like Spotify has their rap list, and then me and Whitney use YouTube Music, and they had their 2023 wrap up. So I was just telling my sister about it for the first time because she didn't even know about it. It was so funny, and she uses Spotify. So we were sharing songs to see what songs we both had and what artists were our main. So I was telling Whitney, and Whitney was telling me about how she uses certain songs for her alarms.
So mine is vastly skewed by that.
But I was like, but you're listening to the song, so it might not be bad. But then she was talking about a meeting in the ladies' room, and I thought of Silk's "There's a meeting in my bedroom, so girl, please don't be late." Any millennial / Gen Xer knows that song.
I can't remember
but
it.
She didn't hear it. But she was talking about this old school song called
by Climax called "Meeting in the Ladies' Room." And there's a meeting in the ladies' room. I'll be back real soon.
Right, and I don't know that song. So I was like, okay, but then now every time she says meeting, I still think of my sexy song. And then I was like, oh, I need to add this to my playlist, y'all. Because I got a playlist just called Sexy. There's only 8 songs on there, but it's just fine. I'm about to add this one right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Triple F Queen, Bola.
No tagline Whit here.
And we are BlerdTalk with Bola and Whitney.
That's right. And we are actually a podcast about reviewing entertainment like movies, TV, books, games, etc. And not as you might expect from the beginning of our conversation about sexy time.
Yeah, that's not one of our things. Oh my goodness.
But we are conversational, so it's everything.
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 All the time. What is that?
I was trying to do Cardi B.
Girl, I can't do that.
There we go. That was better.
Oh, Lord. You know what? This makes me sound... This reminds me of the movie we're talking about today, because there was a lot of birds in it. Anyway, it's the holiday season. And Santa Claus is coming to play. And something... So we'll be coming down the chimney down.
And it's funny because I'm about to start listening almost nonstop to someone who was in the movie.
Which one? Oh, Pentatonics.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, it's the holiday season, so every year we try to do a holiday movie for December as one of our reviews. And this year we did Eddie Murphy's new movie called, well, we're doing now. Yeah. Eddie Murphy's new movie, Candy Cane Lane. Yeah. So that's what the episode is about today. But before we dive into the candy cane and the peppermint and all the 12 days of Christmas, let us blurt out. Blerdy, 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 blerdy.
Blurred.
You know what? I didn't tell you what we're gonna do, but I was just hoping you would like follow my and just go out or something. Like I don't know.
Okay, let's try it again.
Blerdy, 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 blerdy.
Blurt out.
Yeah. That's exactly because you know what's so funny. Whitney's doorbell is that song, and my kids are singing that song for Christmas. My Sunday school kids, I don't have kids. My Sunday school kids, y'all. I'm teaching them that song for Christmas, so it's just in my head. So instead of our usual blurt out theme song, that's the one we're going to use because it's Christmas time.
Yay.
It's Christmas time.
Ooh, it's Christmas time.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas time.
That was actually Business Time by the Fly the Conchords, but whatever.
I actually saw, or heard rather, Jermaine in like a recent episode of Big Mouth and
his voice.
Human Resources.
His voice is very distinctive.
It is. That's actually going to be one of my blurt outs.
Okay, so why don't you go first, Whitney? What are you blurting out about this week?
So I previewed it already, but yeah, I'm actually blurting out about Big Mouth and their spinoff, Human Resources. I watched the first season of Big Mouth, and then, when they had the new seasons, I hadn't gone back yet, so I started...
That adult cartoon on Netflix, right?
Yes. And it is
about adolescence and sex and stuff.
Adolescence, hormones. The kids have a hormone monster or hormone monstress. And the shame monster. Dang. I mean, the shame wizard. Sorry, the shame wizard.
Why are you gotta be shaming folks? I'm upset.
Because they are out here just jacking off all the time. One of these kids. And he's like, no, you need to have a little bit of shame, dude. Okay. And what do they have? They have like the ambition gremlin. Wow. It's just interesting. And then they have a spinoff called Human Resources about all the creatures. So the hormone monster, hormone monstress, etc. So all the creatures that are in like Big Mouth. But the reason I'm blurting out so much, one, because it's like super funny. I mean, it's definitely not for kids. It is downright so out there gross, but in like a wonderful way. But it's hilarious.
Like Family Guy, then.
Beyond Family Guy.
Oh, dang. Family Guy gets a little close
beyond there. Since it's about like hormones and stuff. There's like the sex. And then there's like, they show the parts. They got
they show the parts in the show?
Yeah. This is an adult cartoon. This is not for kids.
Okay, but the kids could end up watching. Well, I don't actually know I don't know any young person that talks about this. So it must be only adults. I always think only white men watch this show, to be honest with you. That's what I think. I think only white men watch that show.
No, I guess that tells you about what my spirit animal is. But anyway, I think the show is hilarious. I love it. But
I love that hilarious.
But yeah, so that
high levels of hilarity.
It is. But something that really had me, even more so than watching the shows itself, when I started watching Human Resources, and I'm almost to the end of the first season, but their theme song for Human Resources is Janelle Monáe's "The Way You Make Me Feel."
Is that different, or is that a replay of the old school song?
No, it's like her own. The way you make me feel, the way you make me feel.
I don't know that song. I don't listen to a lot of Janelle Monáe. She's not my cup of tea.
So fucking real. The way you make me feel.
The way you do the things you do is coming up in my head. For some reason. The way you're saying it, I'm like, the way you do
no,
the
it's
things
just,
you do.
it's super.
That's coming up to my head.
Super funky. Remind me to play it for you after we're done recording, but it is so funky. It is an awesome song. But like when I watch the first episode and then they drop the music with the intro, like I'm usually, after a few times, I usually skip the intro. I do not. I never skip. I never skip it because it's so good.
Certain songs, certain shows, you just let it play because if the songs are good. That's how I do with some of my animes. If I really like the songs for that particular, because animes, they always, if they're long, they always change the opening and the closing. If I really like the song, I'll just let it play and watch it too. Yeah.
But that's what I'm blurting out about. So, Big Mouth, Human Resources, do not show these to your kids unless they're like, 16 or older teenagers. But even more so, Janelle Monáe's "The Way You Make Me Feel." That song is fire. And that's my blurt out.
So the song Janelle Monáe's song as well.
Yes, Janelle Monáe's "The Way You Make Me Feel."
Maybe I'll find a YouTube clip and we can attach it to the show notes.
Yeah, we'll throw it in there.
Okay. So that's all for you, Whitney John?
That's all for me.
Okay. So I have after this I'm gonna throw in topics in Blackness after this. But I'm only learning out about Tacky light tours.
Ooh.
So I went on Explore Tour RVA, Explore RVA. The bus tour that it's like a party bus tour that goes around Richmond. It's so much fun. We kind of went for one for my birthday.
I mean, we didn't kind of
our
go.
birthday month.
We did go.
Yeah, we did. We went on one for my birthday month, our birthday month. Excuse me, and but it was like my birthday thing. I was like, let's do it for my birthday. But the Christmas one was like really nice and enjoyable because I had gone to these houses that are like super super tacky. As in, not in the bad way, but as in they're just so full of lights and stuff. And I was just in awe of the work and the craftsmanship and everything. Like, there was one house, it's called the Windhurst House. It's somewhere here in Richmond. They get on TV. They've won awards. It takes them 7 months to prepare for this particular thing. And it looks like it's taking over like 3 houses. That's what it looks like. It's so massive. It's so widespread. It's so full. And the thing that made me so impressed was that all the decorations and the wooden things are all handmade.
Sounds very similar to our main movie review.
Right. That's another reason why I was like very happy, excited to go with it, because I was like, this reminds me of the Tacky Light tour. So I hadn't gone on a Tacky Light tour in a minute since you took me on one years ago.
That was so long ago.
Like a long time ago.
Right.
But this one was so much fun because we were on the bus, and then we had like a fun Grinch, and Chad was with me, and we just kind of enjoyed ourselves. And then they took us to like a rooftop bar that had like an igloo that had lights on it, so we could sit in the igloo up on the rooftop. The same one we went to that on our tour.
Up
it's the same
on the
one.
Rooftop, click, click, click.
Down through the chimney, no Saint Nick. Right. But it ended up there, and then we went to Quirk Hotel for this beautiful pink tree. But it was all the houses that she took us to, so many houses. But that first house impressed me so much, and I really like when things are interactive, when there's like games and puzzles and things. Like they had so much stuff. They had like a thing you can pull out and just be like, oh, this is the hug ticket. So you can give it to somebody to get a free hug from you. Or they had like little riddles and like word search or fill in the blank things on all their little wooden handmade stuff. And it was so much like, it's like everywhere I turned, I saw like a different one. I was like, I didn't even notice that. I didn't even know. And as I was getting on the bus back to go to the next house, I was like, I didn't even see that corner. Look at that. That's peanuts right there. It was so beautiful.
Ooh.
Also, the second house we went to was nice because they had hot chocolate for sale, cookies for sale, and 3 Amazonian birds.
What?
I'm telling you, yes. There were 3 cockatiels, I think they're called.
Oh.
Amazonian cockatiels. It's called honeydew. The honeydew was the only one that rested on my shoulder. But the night we went, it was raining. And they don't like rain. So every time I tried to like touch honeydew's mouth open like, bitch, don't touch me. she was just like, I really wanted to, but he was like, every time I did this with my finger, her beak opened like, and I was like, don't snap at me.
Try me if you want to.
Yeah, and then I swear every time I did it, she was like, and I was like, okay. So I didn't touch her, but she did go on my shoulder for a little bit. But the 2 white ones were called Coconut and Dr. Pepper. And they had cute names, but the white ones were like, we ain't fitting enough for the rain. So the white one would not even go on my shoulder because I was outside and I wasn't in the awning where they were. So Coconut was in the back where the cookies were, but the other 2 were under another awning. So I got to put honeydew on my shoulder. And I really like colorful birds and stuff. So I thought it was really fun. We had a good time, and I was just excited about it. I feel like taking my nieces, not on the tour bus, but just on the tour to see the houses. Yeah. Just especially those ones, because those ones were like, you could pull things. They had like takeaway puzzles and stuff. I really like stuff like that. So
nice.
It got me into the Christmas spirit, and I enjoyed my time. It was an all day thing. We were out until like 11, after 11. It was like 7:30 to 11.
Wow.
But it was fun, and I highly enjoyed it, and I really have to thank RV Explorer again for just, making it awesome and fun. We had like a turn-up bus, we had decorations. It was super fun and nice. Although she didn't have snacks this time, and I was upset because I was like, the tickets were like double the price that we paid. Oh. They were like $60 for the tickets, and I was just like, but there was no snacks. No water, no. I was like, what happened? But other than that, I enjoyed myself very much.
Nice.
So I'm getting into the season, y'all. Also went for a Christmas tea. Christmas tea. It's kind of like the Bridgerton tea we did at the Jefferson. Yeah. But this one was at the John Marshall Hotel Ballrooms, and I have never been to the John Marshall Hotel Ballrooms, but it was like a Christmas tea. So they had all the finger foods. They had a harpist playing music. They had delicious tea. It was really like nice, like little scones and like little foods. It was really nice and fancy. And
that sounds like a lot of fun.
It was really fun. Like somebody invited us, and she paid for our tickets. So it was like me and my whole family, my mom, and my sister, my mom and my sisters, me and my sister, my mom. We went with our auntie Noreen and her niece, and then we were part of like a big party of 20-something people. Oh wow! And they gave us like a goodie bag too. It was super cute. I had my Christmas outfit on, my Santa jacket with my new green glasses for the holiday season. It was really cute. So I was really feeling like the festival activities. I'm just feeling festive, y'all.
Nice.
All right, so that's all I'm blurting out about.
Oh, I just thought of another thing to blurt out about.
Oh, go ahead.
And this is a shout out to Maddie.
Oh, yes.
But the, what are,
the radio players?
Thank you. The radio players, they're
actually really good.
The holiday show. Yeah,
right.
We've been twice. Each time has been so good. Right. And this time I brought my mom along. I was trying to explain to her what it was.
Surprise.
Yeah. I tried to explain to her what it was, but it's kind of difficult to explain. You kind of have to go and experience it. But she loved it. And Maddie had like a kind of like a main part this time, so we were so happy for him.
I thought he did it exceptionally well. I saw him and I was like, I had to shout him out today too, because as soon as he started doing his part, because there was 2 episodes. The first episode, I actually preferred the second episode actually more than the first one. The first one was good too. It was like a sleuth or something. Time, looking to see who killed Jack Frost in his department store. I was like, this story is interesting. What I wish they had done was I wish they had somebody else be her narrator, and then she could just do her parts. But she was her narrator, and she was narrating herself and then playing herself in the play. You know what I mean? It was like, I wish they had somebody else do the narrating part. But for the second episode where it was about Sherlock and Holmes, and I was like, I love Sherlock, Watson. I love that kind of stuff. So for him to be Watson, I was like, oh, you got a good part. And then he did so good. Yes. I really enjoyed it. It was a good Christmas activity, too.
It was.
Every time I'm like, you're watching it, at first you're like, this is off-putting at first. And then you just go along with it. And then you're sucked into it. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not a usual play because it's really for radio. It's really to be listened to, but you're there attending it, and then you're part of it as well. Remember, we were clapping forever, Whitney?
Oh my God, my arms were so tired. I got so much cardio just from clapping.
Yes. I was like, because they had the applause sign on like they would at any taping. And they had that applause sign on for a really long time.
Because they had it on all through the credits, because the first time around, they wanted you to applaud since they were recording, and then they're like, okay, after the recording's done, then we'll reread the credits, because you can't hear anything with all that applause. But there was a lot of credits, so it just went so long, and my arms were like, I was like, keep going, Whitney, keep going.
I thought about how you hear when movies like the ones we did last one, like the Killers of the Flower Moon, when you go to like the Venice Film Festival and all that kind of stuff, where they do like 9-minute ovations, standing ovations, and I'm like, clapping for 9 minutes. I was like, we were just doing it for like a few minutes and I was already done. I was like, who is clapping for 9 minutes, 8 minutes at a time?
But there's not as much pressure, I feel like, in those cases, because you're like, you clap for a while, you take a break, you clap for a while. But I felt like, I'm like, they're recording, they needed to sound like a full house. I have a lot of pressure to make sure this sounds good.
And then they're like, if you clap faster, it sounds like more people are in the audience. I was like, okay.
Right? We were going so hard.
Yes, we were. And then I loved it because then we got to be part of them singing, and they kicked it back to us to join in with the singing. And I love me some Christmas carols, so I was up in there. I was like, I know the words. Yes. And I enjoyed the participation we had. So it was like audience participation. So it feels like, oh, we're part of the recording. It was so cute. I just loved it. So the Christmas activities are just on fleek right now.
They are. But like, I would highly recommend what is the actual name?
The Richmond Players, the radio players.
The radio players.
Yes.
We'll throw a link in the show notes to the page, because they'll have something coming up in March.
Right. That'll be the next one.
Yeah, but they each time has been enjoyable. Awesome. So highly recommend. We'll throw it in there in case you guys are looking for something.
I'm gonna try and bring my nieces, see if they'll enjoy it.
We'll
see. Okay, so I'm gonna include a topics in Blackness just for a real quick spell. Especially us being Black women, we know the struggle, the beauty, and she especially knows me. I didn't tell you about this that day, because the day I saw you, the day of the Matt's thing was when I got my hair done. But my topics in Blackness is about hair braiders that piss you off.
Ooh.
Yes. So everybody knows I had posted about this because it was that, let's just say it got me that hot under the collar. I'm mad because I do need a new braider now, even though she's very good, but she was very dishonest to me, and I was very upset.
Oh.
So I sent her an Instagram reel for a style.
Mm-hmm.
The whole reel shows you the style.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I only told her for some minor adjustments, but I wanted the main style.
Mm-hmm.
And so I asked her, can you do this? I assume you looked at the whole thing and you're like, yes, she told me you can do it. Then you're supposed to be able to do what, Whitney?
Do it.
The whole style. I make preparations. Also, she was complaining to me about the hair I bought because I wanted it in the burgundy color, this coppery color.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't have the coppery color hair. So I was like, I'm going to buy it. She took $10 off because I was like, yeah, since I have to buy the hair, then you're going to knock some money off.
Mm-hmm.
But then she didn't tell me what kind to buy. And so I'm like, I'm not a traditional braider. I just buy whatever I want to use for whatever I want to use when I do my own hair.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like, oh, you're supposed to get the pre-stretch one. I was like, you didn't say that.
Wow.
So I was like, this is not a problem. Use this. And she's like, well, that's okay because you have to do it. She had to do extra work. And I was like, I don't care. I'm paying you a set fee, so you got to do what you got to do. If you had told me buy the pre-stretch hair, then I would have bought the pre-stretch hair in the color I wanted. But she didn't say that. So I bought the color that I needed. And it was on sale for $2 in the discount bin at the beautiful Hallelujah Jesus. Black people, we know, and the hair is on discount. A $5 pack of hair went down to $2. You can get more for the money. Okay? She didn't tell me how many to get. I just got as much as I needed, I thought. So I just went. And so the whole time we're sitting there, we talk, I'm just letting her do my hair. And then I was mentioning about the hairstyle because it has this intricate circle pattern to the style. And I was like, yeah, I mentioned it because I wanted to see how she was going to do it. And she was like, yeah, I don't really know how they did that and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, but in my mind, I'm like, you're still going to do the circles because that's what's in the style. She never expressed to me that she's like, I can't do that. She never said it until the style was completely done. She finished it. She braided all the way back and she had finished all the cutting and the drip, all the stuff. And I was like, I looked at it and I was like, wait a minute. Aren't you going to do the circles? And she was like, no, I can't do that. And I was like, what do you mean you can't do that? And she's like, you remember we were talking about it before? And I'm like, no. I was saying it like, oh, I wonder how they did it. But I'm like, you supposed to look into it. And you told me you could do the style. You never said, oh, I can do the braids, but I can't do that styling portion, which would have been more honest. Because then, you're also not anywhere near me. I had to come all the way to Patterson Avenue, which is in Henrico, and I don't live over there. So I came all the way down there on the assumption that she was going to do the complete style. Because I was like, I asked and I sent everything. I'm like, how much do you want to do this? So if the style is extra, you could let me know. Because I was like, I want everything that's in the style. I want the circles. I want every... Girl, I nearly fought this woman in the store. I was angry. I was like, Miss Amy, this is not correct. No, you didn't tell me that you knew how... She's like, no, I'm a braider. I'm like, no. It's a braided style, so you can't tell me that. You should have said, oh, I can't do this part. That's dishonest. You made me come down here thinking you could do the whole style. If you told me that you couldn't do this certain thing, you just trying to get money. But you didn't tell me that you couldn't do the whole style. When I said I was heated, I said I post, everybody saw it. I had mad people agreeing with me. That she was like, that was very dishonest. And they were like, no, you have a right to be mad. Because it's not fair to you that and then she didn't want to take off any money. Whitney. She didn't want to take off any money because I had to go home and figure out how to do it myself.
Wow.
And then the hair was done not in a way that was conducive for doing the style. So to make the circles, you needed the ends to be a certain way. See how the ends are, Whitney? Whitney can see, y'all can't see. But like you needed this part off because this part's not easy to wrap. And so I was like, I just went home and I tried to figure it out myself because I was like, I wanted the style to be unique for Christmas. If I wanted just straight flat, I would have asked for that or something else. I was just so mad. But y'all, when the braiders do that, don't take their BS. Even everyone was like, did you pay her the whole money? It was a whole back and forth. But I was just like, you know what? The braids she had done, and she spent the time. So I just paid her what she asked for, even though I told her to drop $20 because she didn't do the style I asked and she was dishonest about it. And then she was like, you can send the money here. And I was like, I wanted to fight her, Whitney. It was bad. It was bad. So Black people know, some of these braiders out here, just be careful. Double check on stuff when you have a style and when you want it. Because sometimes they'll say they can do stuff and they can't. And then you get there and then they want all this money and you're not satisfied. And I left that store and I'm like, I'm really mad because she's a very good braider. But I was like, this makes me not trust you. You know what I mean, Whitney? Can you understand what I'm saying?
In the words of Donald Glover, stay woke.
Exactly.
Niggas creeping.
Exactly. I was so mad at her for doing that to me. And I was like, me and her had a good rapport. She did a good job. When I saw it was finished, I was like, oh, these are nice. But I thought she was going to move into the style part. And when she didn't, she was just done. I was like, no, what are you doing? It was, man, when I say that it took the Lord Jesus to come to hold me, I was hot. I was sitting there hot and I kept saying, and she just kept trying to shove her card in my face. You can send the money here. And I was like, I'm about to fight you. Because anyway, topics in Blackness, when you're getting your hair braided, especially Black ladies, you guys know what's up. Like, don't let anybody do that to you. I really should have only zelled her like $20 less than the price she asked for because of what she did. But I just was like, you know what? Let me do that. And now I know I'm not gonna. I learned my lesson, I guess. But it's really messed up to, and then I had to go home and do it myself. So I was like, what's the point of you? I can't do the braiding part, of course, but I was like, but the style was there and it was clear in the picture. You're looking at it. You were looking at it the whole time you were doing the hairstyle. You didn't even tell me, oh, I can't do that part. Right? That's dishonest to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was it for my topics in Blackness. That's it.
I'm going to tack on topics in Blackness. I haven't watched it yet, but in case you guys haven't watched it, we did an episode on High on the Hog.
Oh, yeah.
A while back. And season 2 has come out on Netflix.
No way.
Yeah.
When did they do that? I was thinking about that recently.
Yeah. When I got my Sister Locks retightened, it was out. So it was like at least a week and a half ago. I don't know exactly when it came out. But yeah, season 2 of High on the Hog is out on Netflix.
Oh, that is awesome. So y'all need to watch that. It's a food documentary. It's like a documentary, but it's through food, and it's really good. Now that you said, I'm going to totally watch with my family because it's super good. I love the first one, and I'm wondering where.
But you better be full because you'll be hungry by the end.
That's true. You really gonna be hungry. But it was very informative. I was very hungry. I'm not gonna lie, I was very hungry. Right. I wanted to eat everything they ate,
right.
And I'm like,
and then it just makes you a little bit mad because you're like, I want that.
Especially the sweets. When they were doing the Juneteenth and they had that baker on, and I was like, she need to give me that pie. Stop playing. I want some pie. Ooh, pie. Is Proper Pie open, Whitney?
Actually, they are
today.
Yeah, because they're open Wednesday through Sunday. Wednesday through Sunday.
All right, let's get into the review.
Yeah, girl.
Let's get into the review. All right, so Candy Cane Lane. So what I like about Christmas time, Whitney, is that there's always all these beautiful Christmas movies, and I love seeing the new because Christmas movies are like mark the season. You know what I mean? It's like you gotta watch, and all those old ones we used to watch, the Home Alones, Elf, A Christmas Story, The Peanuts Christmas, which is like my favorite.
Christmas Story, I love that.
Right, all those movies from back in the day, like they stay in The Grinch Stole Christmas. They stay in your mind, and they're like synonymous with the season. You know what I mean? And so it's like they're like almost evergreen because you just keep rewatching them. But then it's almost like how the newer Christmas songs don't take as much as the newer Christmas movies do. But I try to make it so that I watch the new Christmas movies to see if, you keep doing like Jingle Jangle is like such a
oh
really
my
good
God,
one.
That is like peak.
That's such a really good
peak
one.
New Christmas movie, especially since it was like Black Christmas movie.
Right.
And it was a musical.
Exactly. And there were hardly any Black Christmas movies back in the day.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to watch this one. For one, because it's an all-Black family. It's Eddie Murphy, Tracy Ellis Ross. I mean, Robin Thede was in it. Chris Redd.
I was so
Nick Offerman.
Pleasantly surprised at the end when I saw that it was Robin Thede. I was like, "Come through."
And you saw it was who?
Robin Thede?
Yeah, Robin Thede from Black Lady Sketch Show.
Yeah.
Yes, and Chris Redd, who I think is hilarious. He's also
I'm not as familiar with him.
He's a Saturday Night Live comedian. He used to be on for a couple years ago.
Okay.
I think he just ended last year. He stopped his season. He stopped last year.
Okay.
So if you watch Saturday Night Live, you know who Chris Redd is. I do, because I really like. He was really funny. But I really, really like the Christmas movie season. There's new ones, and they're not just the Hallmark ones where, some girl from the big city goes to the small country, gets herself a country boy, falls in love, and then stays in the country. Like, nobody wants to keep seeing that. I'm sorry, but I don't. Do you?
No, I don't. I can't say keep watching because I don't usually watch it.
Exactly. Let's just hear. Like, the Hallmark movies are the same movie with different people's faces on it. I remember I said this last time how Jimmy Fallon had done a funny skit on his show about the Hallmark movie covers because they were basically the same people in the same, like a guy and a girl in a red or in green or red and white, and they just were posed differently with different words on it. And it was the same thing. I was like, this is sad. And they were real movies. It was so funny. But I was like, this is sad. So this movie is super refreshing. Just like Jingle Jangle was completely different, completely good. Nigel Christmas was also very different and good. I liked the Candy Cane Lane because it was super different. One, it focused on I really do like this song, the Christmas song, the 12 Days of Christmas. It's such an old song and no one really thinks about it that much, but
I
really
always
took
have
that
such
as
a hard
point.
time past like 5 golden rings.
Oh, I know all of them. 12. Damn.
See?
Wait.
See?
I think I know if I go in reverse, it's
4
hard.
calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. But anything beyond that, 6 and up, I'm like,
No, it's got to be 6 maids are milking, 7 swans are swimming, 6 geese. No, shoot.
See, you got to go the opposite way.
Yeah, okay. 12 lords are leaping, 11 ladies dancing, 10 drummers drumming, 9. Damn. You're right. It's difficult.
See. Speaking of, where were the ladies dancing?
Piping. You know what? That was the one thing that I noticed that wasn't in the movie. The 9 ladies dancing were not in the movie. So this film has a very interesting premise, guys. So it kind of goes into what I was talking about earlier with the Tacky Light Tour. And how the Tacky Light Tour that I had gone to, the person had all these wooden fixtures on their lawn that were handmade and carved. And so Eddie Murphy's character is like obsessed with Christmas, that all of his children are named something Christmassy. You have Holly, Joy, and Nick. And I'm like, really? Damn. And I was like, Mom just went along with this though? I was like, so he's obsessed with Christmas, and he hand makes these Christmas fixtures on his lawn, and they were actually really well made. I just wanted them to be painted, but they were super well made. The nutcrackers and all that kind of stuff. So Eddie Murphy's character is obsessed with Christmas, and every year they have like a Candy Cane Lane Christmas competition to see who has the best like display on their house. And so he was really trying to win because there was some increase in stakes this time around, which ended up being false.
I mean, not exactly, but it was definitely like
$100,000 in tacos. Come on. I was mad at the black lady too. I was like, nah.
Actually, you're right. You know what? It was actually false because all they said initially $100,000, not worth $100,000. When you hear worth, you automatically not so not actual money.
Right. And then at the same time, it's like, who wants to eat $100,000 worth of tacos? And the prizes were worth $100,000. I was like, when the list was rolling on the screen, me and my sister were like, nah, that's not $100,000. We were like, that's not $100,000. Anyway, and so his character, Eddie Murphy's character, his name is Chris anyway, and he had just been laid off from his job, and he's all about winning and pressure and all that kind of stuff, and so he wanted to do anything to win that money for his family. He was in the right place. The means, well, he kind of got swindled too by this really crazy elf. And so he goes to the specialty store because he really wants to outdo everybody so he can win what he thought was $100,000 for his family. That would make their Christmas great, make up for him losing his job, all that kind of stuff. And so he goes to this pop-up shop that was seriously run by a really wicked elf. She was like a rogue elf. She just went rogue. I was like, Santa, you need to collect this elf. Like, you know what I mean? The movie, I was like, this is a great premise because it made me think of the Bible story about Satan and how he was part of the angels and then he got knocked down and then he's just doing his own thing, like causing problem. Because
you're right.
Yeah, it's exactly similar because Santa kicked her out because she was acting too much and she was like, oh, Santa's too soft. We need to check the people who are being naughty. And some of the people weren't even that naughty. She was just like, anybody that comes by, I'm just going to check them. You know what I mean? What was her name? Peppermint.
Yes, we find out later Peppermint.
It's her whole name. But Pepper the elf was really on some other stuff. So she would lure people in with all of her ornaments and Christmas extravaganza.
I mean, it was brilliant looking. It was awesome.
It was Christmas had thrown up in this place. It was beautiful. And when you signed to collect one of her things, and you signed the receipt, you basically signed your life away. And if you didn't like win the contest that she had, some stipulation that she made, then you were going to be turned into a miniature glass figurine that could move around. It was really crazy. Right, Whitney?
It was crazy. But I also think, can we talk about another thing that was crazy? Chris's irresponsibility.
Well, okay.
How you then lost your job?
Right.
You don't even want to know how much this thing costs. He's right. I'm like, dude, really? You have no money coming in.
No lie. That was very correct because I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, when you lost your job, you definitely are about to be like, no, how much does this cost?
Right.
And then you over there reading that like CVS receipt. I'm not signing nothing until I read.
Especially when it is that long. Like,
Yes. And he was about to look at it too. And she was like, don't read that. And I was like, no, I'm going to read it. I'm not going to sign
I might not have read it in the first place, but since you told me not to, now I'm definitely going to read it.
Whitney, high five. Because I was like, black people know better. We don't be messing around with that. I was like, now you know black people don't do that. But he was just
and you know most people don't read the fine print anyway, but when you tell me not to, it's like, sus.
Right, exactly. the feelers have to be on. You know what I mean? So I was like, so she had this shop called Kringle's, and she had this awesome 12 nights of Christmas themed tree where the ornaments were from the bottom to the top, all the 12 days of Christmas, all the geese. There's a lot of birds in that song. I don't know why. I just realized, watching this movie made me realize there's too many birds in this song.
Partridge, hens, geese.
6 geese a lane, 7 swans a swimming, 6
swans, yeah.
7 swans a swimming, 6 geese a lane, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge and a pear tree. There's so much bird. There was mad birds in this.
There are 6 different bird types.
Thank you.
Oh, that's half of them.
That's half of it. Half of the thing was just an attack on the bird. This movie was like, because,
it's like the bird.
Yeah, because so he got this awesome Christmas ornament thing. It was huge. I love how it came in a tin, like the Christmas tin. It was super massive, and he just rolled it. His little daughter that helped him, she was so sweet.
She was so cute.
Holly,
so
I think
cute.
was her name. I loved how she had the Christmas spirit, and she's like, he was irresponsible. I was like, this little girl need to be in school. But she was gallivanting with dad all over the place. I was like, Eddie, you know better. She need to be in school.
Right. That was like, dude, you really irresponsible.
Yeah, I was like, so not only did you not find out how much it cost, you signed something not knowing what you signed, and then the little girl didn't get to go to school. You got her in trouble. Oh,
truancy cops gonna be coming for you.
Right. Luckily, and she was like...
But I just want to say, like, I think that... maybe it won't hurt here. Hopefully you can't hear that, y'all. Sorry, I forgot about that one. I thought that one was
Whitney's
not coming out.
Is yelling at her to do something.
Yeah, hopefully y'all can't hear it. I mean, these mics are supposed to
faint.
Close. Yeah, you probably can't hear it.
It's
But
super
anyway,
loud to us,
I also want to come back to Holly near the end where she was like, thugs need hugs.
They thought a hug would help, like, calm the elf down, because she was doing
She
a lot.
was wilding out.
She was wilding out. So not only did she didn't even really tell him. First of all, she couldn't rhyme at all. Like, her rhyming skills were terrible. So when she set the task for him to complete, it was just like, the way she delivered it was not even fair. Like, she was a rogue elf.
I like the use of the word isthmus, though.
Isthmus was, she's like,
I was like, ooh, you don't hear that word very often.
Because it's not a word, Whitney.
It is a word.
Isthmus is not a word.
It is.
No, it's not.
It actually is.
What is isthmus then?
She told you what it was. It's a strip of land.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she wasn't serious.
No, that's because I knew the word. It's just that I never hear it. So I was like, oh, it's a great vocab word that we now everybody knows.
Now I need to look something up.
Isthmus. It's a strip of land.
But okay, so the youngest daughter helped him. So he has 3 children. He has an older daughter who's a track star who's about to go to college, and he wants her to go to the college that him and his wife went to, but she wants to go to Notre Dame, and it's like a whole issue. Then he has a son who he wants to do well, but his son is into
fight
music.
On? What did they keep saying? Fight on or something?
Yeah, I don't even know. He wanted her to go to USC, but she wanted to go to Notre Dame, but she didn't want to be near the house. She wanted to be off living her life and experiencing having her own
life
thing.
Like it's golden.
My sister thought she was super rude, but I was like, I understand her. Me, I understood her, but she didn't understand her, and she was just like, she's rude. She shouldn't be talking to her parents like that. I was like, I understand.
I under normal circumstances, I would agree, but they pressured it so much, that I'm like, I mean, they pushed her to the point.
Yes, exactly. So, and then they had a son who was, of course, into beats and making music, who was actually a very good tuba player and a good leader, but he wasn't doing well in math, and the parents were like, we don't care about your music. You need to be doing good in school so you can get, a job that makes us look good. You know what I mean? And they just were like not paying attention to his seriousness about his music. But he shouldn't be failing math. He was failing math bad, and I was like, no, you need to check that.
Right.
And the funny thing is, a lot of people that are musicians are actually very good at math. But it's like a different type of math. They might not pay attention to like calculus and stuff. But
I know my calculus. It says
you
plus me
don't even go
equals
there.
us.
Don't even go there.
Even though that's not actually calculus. It's just like basic arithmetic. But can we talk? I'm sorry to go on a tangent, but Together, I loved me some Together.
I can't believe you brought that old ass thing up. That thing is old. Like, that's like 2000s MTV.
Right?
No, like, you had to be really into MTV at that time to know that reference. Damn, Whitney, you brought that
Bringing
thing back.
it back. Old
you just
school.
unlocked a memory. Right there. Somebody did that to me again. They sent me a S Club 7's.
Snap! S Club 7?
S Club 7 singing a song, and I was like, damn, a memory unlocked again. I loved S Club 7.
Right?
I mean, even though one of the main girls ended up being a racist B, you know what I mean?
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, she was a racist B. Mm. But I loved them back in the day. I watched that show religiously, and then when I loved S Club 7. Anyway, let's go back to the movie at hand. So the problem is he gets the instrument, the ornament with the big tree. It, once they came around with the camera crew and all that kind of stuff, it blows up. It doesn't blow up, but it comes up and then it's super bright.
No, it already had come up. It like activated. It spun.
Yeah, it spun around and then
like one of those little things where if you spin it fast enough, it makes like an animation.
Yeah. And it was beautifully done. Really
super bright. I thought that plane was gonna crash.
Right. It was so bright, and I was so happy that it kind of shone off at the right time. Because at first his house, when he plugged it in, it wasn't doing nothing. I was like, this is awkward. And then first of all, I love the comedian. Have you ever watched the show Wild Out?
Yes.
Yeah. So the guy from Wild Out, DJ Flip, I think is his name. But he was on there and he was hilarious as the anchor lady's cousin who was just doing a job. I was like, leave it to Eddie Murphy to do something like this. How'd she get her cousin a job being an anchor? That would never happen.
And I'm also, that's one thing which, I can see that maybe happening, but I'm like, he was like, well, where's so-and-so? I'm like, where is so-and-so? So you telling me you got somebody else fired?
She got rid of so-and-so so her little cousin could do the little job. I'm like, you need training to be an anchor. Like, you can't just like, I'm going to just do this now. I was like, how you just let your cousin roll up? Oh, Lord. It was funny. But he was hilarious. All of his lines were funny. Especially, so the issue was after the show and everything went, the tree, all the ornaments on this tree came to life. Oh my God. That's when the movie really starts.
Yes. Oh my God. Can I just say though, there were there were a number of sus things, but how they get up in that factory? You can't just roll up into some manufacturing plant.
That was the wickedness of Pepper, because she was just letting things happen. So I
can understand Pepper. She's magic. But how is Eddie Murphy and his kid up in the factory, just on the factory floor? There's stuff that if you get your arm in there, could cut your arm off.
Yes, and Holly was like, I didn't like that, because Holly was just like walking on the conveyor belt and stuff. I'm like, this is sus. This is not safe. Like you can't do this. How
did you get in?
Right. And I was like, you don't work here. You got badges and stuff. I was like, right? That's because of our grown-up brain. We know, because we use badges to get into our building, and they're like, your wife works in this operational
facility. You can't just
facility.
roll up.
You can't just roll up and be like, we're gonna get these hens that are just in here for no reason.
Especially in the factory, like there would be so much liability on them. They are not gonna let you just roll up.
Let you get through the door. They'd be like, they would call your wife and be like, your husband's outside. You need to come check him. Like that. Right? But movie magic makes things work, because him and the daughter just got in there like swimwear. You know what I mean? But I think was the really weird thing was that the birds, first thing first was like the swans were just in the lawn, and she was like, why are they just there? Then the geese were like flying over her, like when she was going to work. She had this awesome chartreuse color outfit on, the wife, played by Tracy Ellis Ross, hilarious. And she was like, the eggs were dropping, and these eggs were big. Whitney,
these geese are laying. They were like coming in like fighter pilots dropping bombs.
Are geese eggs this big? Because I was like, these eggs are really big, and they were just bombing. They were all over her car. They were dropping on her, and I was like, it was attacking his family. That was the issue. Like all the ornaments for the 12 days of Christmas were like going everywhere his family was, interrupting their lives, everything, and he had to find them the rings, the golden rings, before Christmas Eve,
8 p.m.
Before a certain time on Christmas Eve. Otherwise, he was going to turn into one of those I don't know what, the living figurines. So you had the wonderful comedians play the figurines, and Pentatonix was in this. Let's talk about Pentatonix. Pentatonics. I was like, of course y'all are in here.
I was
singing.
eyeballing so close. I was like, let me count how many of those figurines. Because I'm like, these voices sound familiar. Yes, and I was like, there's one girl. That's Pentatonics.
And my main issue with the whole film that I was like not happy. I was like, now what's their story? How did they all get into this issue?
Right.
And it was supposed to be the elf just captured a singing group.
And it's just like, y'all ain't trying to escape at all. Y'all are not providing any support.
They're just out there just like
singing
in their little sing-song voice. And I was just like, every time.
So y'all just want to be figurines forever then?
Right. La, 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 la. And I was like, y'all are going to do that the whole time? That's annoying. It was funny though. I liked them in the movie, but it was like when they came back to life, you're like, yeah, I knew those Pentatonics.
Right.
Like, I knew it. But then I was like, I was like, how'd she get a whole singing group? It made them into little figurines. So the whole film is full of pandemonium. Things unfold as he's lied to his family. He didn't tell them the truth.
How are you do you not tell them that like off jump?
Yeah, because I was looking at you and I was like...
That provides a different level of motivation.
Right, and I was like, if you told me this story, I would be like, you want some other stuff? Stop playing. Like, I don't blame him for not telling them because it sounds terrible, but I blamed him for not telling the truth because you got yourself in some mess. You need to let them know what's really going on. And
I mean, that's an easy truth to sell. They already see the singing, the talking figurines.
It seemed like he didn't... It seemed like he didn't even know he was going to turn into the figurine. Until
he knew. He knew.
Okay. Because I was like, maybe...
Pip told him.
Once he found them. Yeah. Once he found those things. But it seemed to me like he was just unaware of what he was actually getting himself into. Yeah,
because he didn't read the fine print.
Right. Mistake number one. Yes, you paid for something, you swiped and you didn't even know how much it was. That threw me. As a black person, I was like, we don't do that. Like, I literally look at Shaw, I was like, we don't do that. Like, we're not just swiping and
I admit, I don't usually read a regular receipt, but if it's going to be that long, I'm like, what the heck is this? Let me read and see why there's so much.
He had to swipe first before the receipt came out. And she didn't tell him how much it was. I was like,
and he said he did not want to know. That is definitely hell no.
Exactly.
Said like, no black person ever.
Exactly. Because I'm like, what are you getting yourself into? Like, I was looking at...
You gonna tell me how much this is.
Thank you. I was like, something that big was like thousands of dollars.
Right. Like, and what if it's like $15,000? If you're trying to win $100,000, that's like a lot cut off the top.
Right.
Irresponsible.
I was like, that's a lot on your credit card. About to say, you got a high purchase right here.
Right.
What's the APR? Okay. So... There were some, honestly, I really just enjoyed the film as a Christmas movie. Like, I thought this film was just super fun.
It was fun.
The concept to me was new and different, like something I had never seen before, which really made me like it. I love the integration of that song and those things, like, coming to life and, like, plaguing your family. Like, the geese, like, the maids are milking in the band room, squirting all that milk on him. I like the Lords of Leaping while she was running.
That was one of my favorite. Can we talk about the one on the track? I'm like, oh my God, he is fine as heck.
I was like, which K-pop group is he in?
Right.
Because I was like, this looks like a Korean. Stop playing.
Right. I'm like, they out here just doing the most. I'm like,
One thing I didn't get was like, I was like, is everybody not seeing this?
That's what I was wondering too. But I think they were. But I'm like, this is not the appropriate amount of reaction for seeing.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, y'all didn't see these Lords of Leaping all over the place. And then Eddie Murphy's like, have a javelin trying to fight 10 dudes that are leaping around like crazy.
And can we talk about the recruiter? Talk about, I saw her. I saw about 11 violations. Did you not see all this interference?
That's what I was saying. I was like, you can't fault the girl. There was all this stuff on the track. And she was still running and doing her thing. But then I'm like, when they just went flat, I was like, did nobody see that? And this is not an issue? I mean, the verisimilitude of life. Come on. Somebody got to react. Be like, did y'all just see that?
Right.
That's why I like the parts where people saw him when he finally shrunk down because the stupid elf, Pepper, she was just so mean. And she was just so... I was so mad because she just kept, like, cheating throughout the whole thing. She's not a Rumpelstiltskin.
Blatant cheats.
She's not. Because at least Rumpel will do the deal, but he'll do the deal. It might be a sideways, but at least he'll tell you what's up with the deal. But she just kept changing stuff in the deal. You know what I mean? Like, she just was like, oh, I never said it was 5 rings. I'm like, the song is 5 golden rings. I never said it was 5 rings. So, it was 40 rings they had to find.
But
That's messed up.
It was true though. It's like one of those things where it's like a I don't know, one of those deals where it's not exactly though. I could see how that could be for real, for real. It wasn't like the $100,000 thing where that was obviously like a bait and switch.
Yeah.
But this was like, yeah, you would think so, but it's like, depending on your reading of it, it's like, that's true. They do say it that many times, however many times it is. So it can be 40.
That part was crazy.
Because I was looking, when they had got the 5 rings, I was like, stuff isn't happening the way I thought it was. Something's about to go down.
Right. And so it's like, oh man, it was like a whole thing. Oh, one thing I really liked was you know how the neighbors next door, the white neighbors next door, the neighbors next door, the way he behaved. I remember when they were like, they weren't trying to go over there because they knew they had that box wine. that frenzy wine is so terrible. It's really not even good wine at all. And then they were like, do we have to go over there? Do we have to do this? And as soon as they announced the $100,000, everybody was just like, we leaving the party because we about to set it off. Right. It was like they were happy to leave.
gotta start doing.
And then the pandemonium on the street when they were announcing who was gonna win, and then like everything just came crashing, and there was like craziness all over the street. I was like, "What is going on?"
Can we talk about Black Santa? That was
when
awesome.
Black Santa came, exactly. First of all, Black Santa came up in the flyest like sled mobile I've ever seen in my life.
It was like a sled. It was like a Santa sled pimp mobile almost.
Yes, it was a pimp, and they had the best person to play, David Allen Greer, who's a very good friend.
Come through.
Oh my God, he came through, and I love him. So I was just like, he is looking fly.
Right?
Like, Santa was looking dapper.
What?
Santa was looking like a zaddy, okay? A zaddy. It was zaddy Santa. But the only thing I was mad about, I was like, zaddy Santa wasn't that helpful. Like,
we really was not that helpful.
Zaddy, you need to get Pepper. Why you let her out the house? I was like, you just gonna let her be rogue and do the hell she want?
In the words of the 40-year-old version, bitches running wild.
Exactly. Bitches running wild. But I like how he got her in the end. He made her into the figurine that
was great.
I like that because
I also like the not only that part, but the fact that like the shop Kringles where like he got the big tree from was under new management, and it was Chris
Kringles. It was super cute. It was very nice, and because I was like, that was the one thing I was hoping.
I was like, so he ain't gonna get no job, or maybe her job was gonna pay enough for both of them for a while. I was like, okay.
That was the one plot point that I was like, wait a minute. He lost his job in the beginning of the movie, and it didn't. It was ending, and I was like, wait a minute. They're not gonna resolve his like lack of a job, you know. And then I was like, okay, so now the shop is still there, and he's gonna own it, and he's gonna.
Or at least manage it. I feel like maybe Santa owns it.
Probably so, yeah. So I like that Santa was in there. But during the blooper reel, when they were talking about how Santa was like, he really couldn't do anything because it was magic. And then Eddie Murphy said, I bet white Santa would help us. I was rolling. Girl, I was rolling on that. I was like, I love a good blooper reel. They don't do them anymore. Like, they really don't do them as much.
Great.
The bloopers were awesomely funny on this one.
But it came together perfectly because since he made all his stuff handmade, like it just made sense. I was like, this was perfect, like for him to be management,
be the one managing and since he's so obsessed with Christmas, and he was like, I gotta win. I also like the little family resolution as well. Like he was like, once he became the glass figurine, and then he realized he was not gonna be with his family anymore, and then he like, you know what? It's more important the time you spend together. Like, I want you to be happy. I want you to be happy. You know, and he was congratulating. I felt bad for him because his wife was like, I got a promotion. And then he just lost his job. And so it was like, but he's like, I got to be dad for the family, you know? But I like the little resolution of the family issues in the film. I thought it was a really nice touch. That was a really nice touch. What about you?
I enjoyed it as well.
Was there anything you disliked about the film?
I can't say there's anything I disliked. It's just, it's not like Jingle Jangle level.
Yes,
for me.
I agree. It's not a Jingle Jangle level film. No.
Yeah.
No.
But like, I can't say there's anything I dislike, but it's just not that same. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This to me was a nice watch. Like, if you're looking for a holiday film for real, this is a nice holiday watch. It's new. It's different. Because I've never seen anything like this with this craziness and all this stuff coming to life. It was really power and chaos up in this film. And I was just like, so this whole Candy Cane Lane, just this little one spot, y'all just gonna be flipping out and okay for Christmas. And then I love the whole competition between the families. But you're right. It's really different and unique, and that's what I liked about it.
Can I also talk about one more thing that was like something that kind of niggled at my mind at the end?
Go ahead.
when the neighbor was there at their house at the end, but I
Right.
didn't see who I assumed was his wife.
Yeah,
I'm like,
but
so was
she
that
ended up
not
being
his
there.
wife?
No,
Like,
that was his wife, but she ended up being there. She was in there. Like, if you watch the ending scene where they're coming out of the house, the camera shot is coming out of the house, you'll see that, the other kids are there, and the wife was in there too.
Oh,
His
okay,
wife.
okay.
Because at first he's like, he don't even like this dude. Why is he in the house? Because at first, that's what me and my sister were like, where's his wife? Like, why are you here and not your wife? Like,
right?
why are you
Right?
at their Christmas? You should be
That's
in
what
your
I was
house
like.
during Christmas.
I was so confused.
So they all came, and then he regifted him that fleece. First of all, I'm mad at that black dude. I was like, you don't be doing your people like that. Like, the way he came, the attitude he had when he was firing folks.
Wow, yeah, that attitude
And
was
to
so...
fire people during Christmas, I was like, that is so terrible to do. Like, it was really messed up.
It was.
But
Can we
he had
also...
a better
I just
purpose.
thought of one more thing. Pip.
Yes, let's talk about the
I'm
figurines.
like,
The glass figurines
Pip,
were amazing.
When exactly were you turned into a figurine?
Exactly. Let's talk about it, because that's one of the things I had. Because when they all went back to their regular clothes, you saw that the Jamal, I'm calling Jamal because I can't remember his name, Chris Red's character, Robin Theady's character, all of them, and the Pentatonics, they all went back into like modern day clothes. Pip
And
was
they got
the only
in
one
the
that
sleigh,
stayed with
and
like,
he did
like
not.
14 Victorian clothes, 14th century, whatever. Like Victorian style clothes, and then he had nowhere to go. And then he came back to their house and was like, "My Christmas wish was not to be alone." And I'm like, "You look like you out of the century,
Right?
You probably don't got no family."
And I'm like, so Chris, you're not really reading tone here.
Right.
I'd be asking questions like, so Pip, what century are you from, dude? Do
That's
you
what
even
I'm
have
saying.
anybody alive?
That's what I was saying. I was like, then I was like, how long was Pepper doing all this nonsense? Because I was like, Pip, like, are you from England? Is that why you, like, is that the problem? Like, then how did Pepper get you over here? Like, I had so many questions about, like, the story of how they got
if
turned.
he was from England, Santa could have dropped you off, dude.
Right, exactly.
I think he's from a different century.
I think he is too, but he's just gonna stay in their time and I guess be their guest in
and
their
hopefully
house.
get a social security card or something.
Right. There's gonna be so many issues. I was like, that's our
do you
brains.
have a home, Pip? Or you just gonna be staying?
That's our brains
with
going
the
there.
Carvers now. I'm like,
I was like, what was the point of him being like because Nick Offerman is not clearly not a British person. He's an American comedian actor. And so I was like, what was the point of making him like the British one, the old school British one? I mean, they were all wearing Victorian style clothes and then they went back to their real clothes, but he was the only one that did not go back to his real clothes.
Yeah.
He just stayed in the same outfit and when he got popped back into his body. So I love that Holly was instrumental, the youngest daughter, instrumental in helping to make this happen. And that was her Christmas wish, and Santa was able to let all of the glass figurines become live again. I thought that was a really nice touch.
That was nice.
But at the end, when he rolled up again, and I'm like, so you just going to be staying at the Carver's house? Because they're the Carvers. So I was like, really? Okay. That was the one thing that I wasn't sure about.
Yeah, it's like, we've been through some stuff, so you want to be nice, but at the same time, it's like,
Yeah, I agree. Can I just say that the glass figurines, the live ones, they were the funniest part of the movie to me, especially Chris Red's and Robin Theady's, like, just their one-liners were having me dying of laughter. Everything. He was like trying to hit on Tracy Ellis Ross character, and he was like, that's my wife." He's like, "I don't care." You know what I mean?
For now,
Right? He was hilarious. He set the tree on fire. I was like, "How you set a glass tree on fire?" I don't understand. He was doing a lot, but he was hilarious.
yes,
Hilarious, as we established earlier today. That was one of my favorite parts of the film. I like that they went around having to grab the gold rings. It was all over the place. It was just fun. I love seeing everything. I think they got everything. They even had the calling birds. So they had like
That
birds
was
calling them on the phone. I was like,
those birds
that was
sounded
very-
like Stephen King horror movie.
that was
like,
very smart, actually.
and creepy.
Yeah.
I'm like, them birds is creepy
Yes,
calling
yes,
on
yes.
the phone.
There
like,
were some like thrillery elements to certain parts of the because it made it like foreboding. So when the birds were popping up everywhere to the partridges, I was like, "Yo, hold up, this is not something ain't right. Let's rewind." You know what I mean? So I liked that they incorporated so many different things into this film. So it just made it like a fun watch.
It was.
That's what I would call this film: a fun watch, a fun holiday watch.
Agreed.
And I have to give it up to Tracy Ellis Ross, but to me, even though she kind of acts the same in all her roles, because I swear she was acting like I watch her in Blackish and of course Girlfriends, and I was like, I'm seeing Rainbow Johnson in this. I'm seeing Joan in this because she was talking about, I got the new job. And I was like, this is how she is. I love it personally. I really enjoyed her being the mom, and I liked seeing her in the film. I love the Black family unit. I really liked the film. I enjoyed it. Me and my whole family were laughing. My mom and my sister are probably letting my nieces watch it right now because they're like, we want them to see it too. It's a great film. So I'm ready to review. Are there anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I think we're ready for ratings.
All right. So of all the Christmas movies, the new ones coming out, like, what do you think? This one... I
haven't watched any of the other like new ones, like because I know there's like a Ludacris one.
Yeah, that's the one I want to watch next. That's on Amazon, on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I want to watch that one next.
I'm gonna check it out just to see like how it compares. But I can't put it up against anything else because I haven't watched any other new
How do you think this compares to some of the other Christmas movies we've already done? Because we've done Spirited.
That's true.
We've done Jingle Jangle. We've done what's the other one? Niger Christmas. We've done. This is our fourth Christmas movie. Yeah.
I think I might put it. I think I would probably, since we watched them a while ago, it's hard to say. I think I would put it above Naja Christmas. It would be hard for me to put it above Spirited though, because the music,
Spirited was good.
The music in Spirited was so good, and then the hilarious like just stuff happening, all that. So yeah, I would put it. And then. You just can't compare to Jingle Jangle.
Yeah, Jingle Jangle is like my top one for now.
Yeah.
When it comes to Christmas movies so far. I really enjoyed that film.
Agreed.
All right, so let's do the rating. You go first. What do you
I'm going to give it 7 glasses.
Hey, me too.
All right.
I was looking for the right thing because this movie is not like a 10 movie. It's not like a 9 even. But for me, when I feel like this is a solid, watchable film.
Yeah.
That I don't have any negative things to say about it, but I'm not like blown away.
Right.
I'm just content with the film.
Yeah,
as it is,
it's a good watch.
I always give those kind of films a 7.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And we don't have to do any hard math. It's a 7 average. 7 glasses.
But this film was super funny.
It was.
I'm not gonna lie to you. One of the reasons why I bumped it because at first I was gonna give it like a 6.5.
I was seriously considering that too.
But what I had to look is at the writing. The writing of the film to me, I was like, I haven't seen anything like this. That's what made me really bump it up a little bit. And then I loved the bloopers at the end, and I loved how at the end of it we were just smiling. Me and my family were like, it put us in a good Christmas mood.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, this is what the Christmas is made of. Yeah. You know? And we had presents under the tree. The tree was on, and I had bought some Christmas snacks and stuff at home. It was just like a nice night. And I'm just like, nah, I'm gonna give it a 7 because it's like a nice solid film. It's not, I don't think every film has to be like a 10, but I think if it's a good film without too many issues, I think they solved the plot points.
Yeah.
For the most part. Still don't know about Pip. That's the only one that's like, Pip is just out there.
Right.
But they solved the whole thing with the Kris Kringle, and then the family is back to normal and everything. So I was like, oh, everything got resolved well.
It did.
You know, it was
a fun watch.
It was very much a fun watch. So I had to give it a 7.
Agreed.
Right. And so I would definitely like put it under. I liked Niger Christmas a bit more just because it's culturally my thing. But I definitely put it right there. Like I would say I liked Jingle Jangle, then Spirited, then Niger Christmas, then this one. Yeah.
Mine is similar, except for I just have
the bottom two.
Yeah,
and I really want to watch the Ludacris one to see where that one falls. Because again, I'm loving the Black Santas. Because I did not know Santa was going to be in this, and David Allen Greer showed me a whole different kind of Santa. Okay,
right.
Plus, I love the comeuppance that Pepper got at the end. It's like, and then she thought she was coming back. Santa was like, everybody gets a second chance. And I'm like, wow, so she's just not going to face any consequences for turning real people into glass figurines that can live. And I'm like, how long have they been stuck like that? So I like that he was like, nah, you got a second chance, but you're going to work your way up from the bottom.
That's right.
And
you got to start from the bottom before you're here.
My thing is, I like that she got to spend her time as a glass figurine first, so she can see how it feels. And then she's like, oh my God, it's so boring. And I'm like, no, this is what you were doing. She was so creepy and weird at times. So creepy and weird, but I thought she was a good villain.
Yeah,
I like that a Santa's elf was like the villain for the whole film. A rogue elf. I thought it had a lot of points to me of stuff I hadn't seen, so I enjoyed it. Anyway, but that's it for me. I think I say give it a watch, guys. It's a good holiday film, fun for the family. I mean, most holiday films were, they're just about the time. You have your favorite ones, but add some of these new ones in, y'all. Check them out. I really think Candy Cane Lane is a good watch. I would watch it again, to be honest with you, just because it was really fun. It was a nice, if you were looking for something to watch as Christmassy, I would put this on and be like, let's watch this again. It's cool.
It's fun. Give it a try.
All right, y'all. Well, we're going to blerd out and leave y'all for now, but enjoy the holiday seasons. Yeah. All right, y'all. Are we going to come back before Christmas, Whitney?
Yeah, before Christmas. I don't know about before Christmas, but we've got one more episode for December, you guys. We'll see where it comes.
Yeah, one more before the year ends, all right? So look out for us, okay? And y'all message us. Let us know how you guys like the film. If you didn't like it, if you thought it was crap, or if you thought it was great. If you agree with our 7 glasses, if you would give it a monocle, a contact lens, whatever you want to do, okay, y'all? But enjoy the holiday season.
And as always, blerd out.
Bye. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Please subscribe to our show on whatever podcast listening app you use and share the show with other blurred and non-blurred family and friends. And if you like this episode, please subscribe to our email newsletter at blerdtalkbw.ck.page and also rate and review our show on Apple Podcasts.
Intro and outro music is Twilight by Caption. You can find them on SoundCloud, username Caption spelled CAPSHUN. Show notes by Bola, Hanson, audio engineering by Whitney Booker.
And don't forget to get social, you guys. You can email us at blerdtalkbw@gmail.com. And our social media handles on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok is at BlerdTalkBW. And our YouTube channel is youtube.com/@BlerdTalkBW. And we've got our individual things going on too. You can find the Triple F Queen on Instagram at Triple F Queen B as in boy. And my YouTube channel is youtube.com/@Triple F Queen B.
And you can find me, Whitney, at Luminabi Studios, my company. And the email address is wit@luminabi.com, spelled WHIT@LUMENABI.com. And you can also find me on Twitter at Luminabi Studios.